But one thing is that these tools become really accessible and also relatively cheap to buy, but not so cheap that everybody just would have them for a couple of €100 at home. They're still a couple of €1,000. So economically it makes sense to share. And the other thing is there's a lot of knowledge and expertise and experience involved in using these tools. And again, it makes a lot of sense to share that knowledge and to work together to build up that experience. If we look at society and technology, then famously Bruno Latour said in 1990, technology is society made durable. So in technology, a lot of societal decisions are sort of materialized. And this technological control over society has until now very much been in the hands of corporates, of big companies and of their engineers. So with this new development, what we're actually seeing is that technology gets into the hand of society at large. So society can decide what to do with technology. And we're at the moment where everybody potentially can contribute to technology, which is society made durable, but in a way that everybody thinks society should look. So materialize a society that we all want, and not just a society that big corporates want. The established system that probably has developed over the past 20, 25, 30, 40 years, like in what we would call the second industrial revolution, has very much been about globalization, about centralization of decision powers with big corporates, with big companies, very much a top-down approach. So what we see in FabLabs is a contrary movement which is bottom-up. Now, corporates are not stupid. They quickly notice that this bottom-up has a lot of power. We've seen that in the internet, where in the first phase of internet we had this idea that this is the big route to democratization, and in the second development phase of internet, when all the big giants like Google and Facebook emerged, we had this massive centralization. I think in manufacturing, in the FabLab world, we have at the moment this bottom-up movement, and we have to be really, really alert to any attempts to sort of centralize that and move that into the hands of top-down corporations. And there are people out there trying that, some disguised as think tanks, some disguised in the maker media, Make Magazine, Maker Fairs, the tech shops, and these guys who operate as wannabe corporates in this space. So you have to be really, really alert to what they're doing, and I think we have to counteract that actively. The movement is not only led by communities at the moment. There are quite a big number of FabLabs, and this one here is an example, who have been set up by institutions. So this is part of a university. Many labs in the US are part of colleges, universities, museums, libraries. So these kind of educational institutions. So institutions do play already an important role in providing this infrastructure. And normally it's also institutions who are interested to learn about those other FabLabs that are set up by communities. So I I hope that there is a development that institutions become more open to communities, and in the long run I would expect that we have a sort of symbiosis with very active communities and with institutions that are open to communities. The thing about the real economy, the thing about setting up a business is really you have to believe in your idea and go for it. This is not different to what it ever has been. Setting up a business is a hard job, and you have to be persistent in doing it. There are people who sort of dream or think that, yeah, because this is community-based, it would be so much easier to set up a business. I think they're wrong. Setting up a business is a hard job, and you have to be persistent and determined to set up a business. And then you can set up a business in whatever environment. Now, there is, I think, an advantage for setting up a business when there are those communities, because you're from the start so much closer to your customer than you would be if you just set up a bakery shop. So I think that's the big advantage for setting up a business. You're so close to your customers. You can from day one interact with your customers, and that's a big advantage for setting up a business.
So you are close and you can think about the customization of your product?
You can do that. You can try out your offering with a few customers and see if it works, see if they buy into it, or find out what's missing from your service or product to really make it appealing to customers. I think that's the big advantage.
Thank you, Peter.